Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Flosstube number 16, I think. My name is Candace, and this is a channel about all things stitching. So we've got cross stitch, we've got a little bit of knitting, we've got some quilting. This should be a rather short video today. I did not have a whole lot of time to really craft this last week. This past weekend, we went to my niece's graduation party. She, I cannot believe she graduated already, you guys. She was 2 when I met my husband. We actually share a birthday, which is very cool, but we're 22 years apart. So she graduated high school this year. We pretty much just kind of socially distanced until most of the people left, and then we actually stayed the night there. We stayed in their camper. We had a lot of fun, though. The boys got to go swimming finally. My husband and I got to have fun and have some drinks and, you know, just catch up with his brother and his family. So that also means that I did not have much time for stitching because we did a lot of traveling. So we took Friday off work and drove to my mother-in-law's, and then Saturday morning we went to my brother-in-law's, which is another couple hours away, and then on Sunday we drove back to my mother-in-law's, hung out for a little bit, and then back home. So it was lots of driving, very little crafting. So job update real quick. I am not quitting my job. My boss really did not want me to leave. And she said, can you maintain the credit files working 1 day a week? And I said, yeah, absolutely. So I'll probably work 1 or 2 days a week, just a couple hours at night, maybe like Monday and Thursday. And then I'm not away from my family. Like, I'll be with my kids all day, but I will not see my husband except at night. So I don't want to work 5 nights a week and not see him. So I'll work just a couple hours 2 nights a week just to maintain the files, and then any extras that I've been doing for other departments I won't do anymore. So yeah, there'll be a little bit of working, just a little bit. Kids start school the 24th of August, so I got a little bit of time left. Next week we are both taking the whole week off. And I don't know what we're doing yet. We've been talking about trying to go camping, but in a safe way. So I don't know. We definitely want to go up into Michigan, though. That's where our hearts lie, is in Michigan. We were both born in Michigan, so we just are stuck in Indiana right now. But yeah, so not a whole lot got done this week. I did start, let's see. So we'll talk about the end of July first. I got another day in on the Seasons in Chalk Art Summer. And, this thing, I should reprint it because it just keeps getting worse. It just keeps getting worse. Okay, so this is from JustCrossstitch magazine. June 2016 issue. And this is from Priscilla Blain. And, oh my gosh. I didn't even... Oof. Okay, so here's where it is now. I know I was still filling in this flower when you guys saw it last time, and I had the gray to do, and then I added some leaves in here. So I made a little bit of progress the last Wednesday. So, and then I kind of put this down because I really wanted to get, we'll talk about that in a little bit. I really wanted to get my knitting project done. So, I actually did not stitch again until Saturday, August 1st. That poor paper. Oh my goodness. So, August 1st, let me flip over in my calendar. I have the 24 hours of cross stitch calendar to help me keep track of everything. I also have the cross stitch project books from Fat Quarter Shop that you can keep track of the fabric, the threads, the start and end dates, and all that stuff. This is nice because daily I can just put down what I did real quick, and then I have a record of what I did. So, Saturday the 1st was Audrey's graduation party, and it also started the 100 days of HAED stitching, that's Heaven and Earth Designs, in the Stitch Talk HAED Challenges Facebook group. And that group will be linked below. It's been linked in the last couple of videos I had. But so for 100 days, the goal is to put at least 30 stitches in per day. So now here's the thing about that group is you cannot double dip. So I am using Mini Dark Goddess, which is this one, for the Around the World Challenge. And I was not even thinking, and I was going to use it for the 100 Days Challenge, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I can't do that. So I decided instead to use Mini Citrine, even though Mini Citrine just came off of the Tour de France. So there's Mini Citrine. I know the picture's tiny, I'm sorry. But, so I started working on this, and it was just to do at least 30 stitches a day. And my Q-snap was a little loose. So here's where she is right now. I got some of this purple in here. There's a little more orange going on. And then basically, if I had extra from a thread, I just, you know, added it in. So there's quite a few where I've come off into random spots down over here. So this one, I did, pretty sure I did 30 stitches the first day. And then I want to say I did like 50 the next day and 53 the day after that. And then yesterday I did 50. So I still need to get my stitches in on this for today. I will probably do that after this video. I'll have some time before work. It's about 2:15 and I have to leave at 3:30. So I'll get my stitches for this done before I go to work, hopefully. So then here is, I showed you the picture before. This is Mini Dark Goddess, and you can see, if you remember from last time, there was not a lot of this little stuff going on. I was working on this white. There is a little bit of white left to go right here. Just a little bit to go. So what I do is I'll do like a strand of white, and then I'll go on to a different color somewhere around in here. But this is, since it's being used for my Around the World Challenge in the Stitch Talk HAED group, I couldn't use it for the 100 Days Challenge. However, the official Heaven and Earth Designs group is doing a, like an admin challenge. So a lot of their admins are going to try and join in this challenge with us. And it's to do 10,000 stitches by the end of September. So we have 2 months to do 10,000 stitches. I will gladly take that challenge. And I know it's arbitrary August, but guess what? I want to work on this. So it's not a chore for me to work on this because I want to work on it. I still love it. I want to see it done. So I'm excited. So I'm keeping track of my stitches, using Pattern Keeper, the best program ever invented on this earth. So this one, I'm getting in at least a length of thread on Mini Citrine, and then I'm spending the rest of the time working on this. Now, it is arbitrary August. So today, I may say, you know, when I go to work, I think I want to work on whatever mania start. Then I'll grab it and work on it. The goal is just to do what I want this month. And so not only is that stitching, but I'm going arbitrary for all of my crafts. If I want to quilt, I'm going to quilt. If I want to knit, I'm going to knit. And speaking of knitting, we'll get there in a second. So anyway, that is it for stitching whips. Now, as far as the rest of the week goes, I can't really tell you what the plan is except for my 30 stitches per day on Mini Citrine. The rest, I don't know. It'll be a surprise. You'll find out next week. It'll be a surprise. I realized the other day that I'm not sharing my progress on a lot of stuff on Instagram anymore. And so I did share my knitting progress last night. Well, but I've been looking at Instagram. I just haven't been sharing my progress. So I am Candace K31 on Instagram. Super creative name on Instagram. But what can you do? I've had it for years and years and years. Maybe 9 if it was 31 on the end. So, so I'm going to try and start sharing more of my stitching stuff also, because I have no secretive knitting, stitching, quilting stuff happening. So, I need to get back into the groove of sharing on Instagram because, I'm hoping I can inspire someone. And speaking of inspiration, you guys are amazing. Yesterday I hit 400 subscribers, which is so cool. I hope I just inspire one person to pick up one craft. And I actually did have somebody comment. I don't even have my phone down here. I am so sorry. So let me see if I can remember. Okay, somebody commented, I know Erin Two Martini Stitcher had a knitting question, and then somebody else had a knitting question. So I'll move on to that part since my stitching is basically done. So let's start with those questions. Erin had asked, how do I keep track of so many stitches? Because this sucker ended up with 523 stitches. But I don't have any down here because they're all in random project bags, but I use the tiny little rings. Pretty much you can use anything for a stitch marker. You can use a little scrap of yarn. You can use the little rings, split rings, jump rings. You can use the lobster claws. There's all sorts of things you can use. And especially when you're using something, a smaller size needle, pretty much anything will fit. So that's what I use. And generally I'll do, if it's a lot of stitches like this and it's, a heavily, like an intricate design, then I will do like every 10 stitches or every pattern repeat. The lace on the bottom of this was actually super easy. Very intuitive. I memorized it right away, so I didn't use stitch markers for this. Once I knew I had 523 stitches on for the beginning of that last band, I just back and forth. So, it is done. Another person asked, they wanted to learn how to knit and had asked about knitting videos to learn how to knit. So Very Pink Knits here on YouTube has amazing tutorials on how to knit. I think she also has some crochet videos too, but she is the place to go for like when you're making socks and you need to do a Kitchener stitch. It took me for years, probably a good 6 years of having to remind myself every time I needed to close the toe on my sock how to do a Kitchener stitch. Finally, I can remember it without having to look it up every time. But I'm telling you, there are some things that you need to look up every time. So as far as like different cast-ons, different bind-offs, she's got your basic how to knit, how to take 2 sticks and some yarn and make something. Along with Very Pink Knits here on YouTube, there is a website called knittinghelp.com. They have a ton of resources, free patterns, videos to help teach you how to knit. So even now, I will come across a stitch I won't know how to do. Somebody will have some sort of pattern and it'll be like a random, like hard little decrease or something. And I will literally, I'll just Google it, and then the first YouTube video that pops up is usually the one I watch. Generally, the first one that pops up when you search for stuff like that is going to be the most popular. So, my face is itchy. I was outside in my flower beds because they got no attention this weekend. And it was a little warm outside. It's not super warm outside, but it was a little warm, so I'm kind of warm. So those are the questions. I will look back and see if there were any other questions about knitting that I missed. I don't know how I ended up leaving my phone upstairs. I guess it's just one of those days. So let me pull this off of here so you can see what it looks like. It's a good size shawl. And so I finished it yesterday, last night, and then when I got home from work, I soaked it and I pinned it out and it's dry. So if it was not summer, I'd be wearing this today. So this was a mystery knit along. It's called the Stillness Shawl MKAL. It's from Helen Stewart, the designer behind Curious Handmade. I love it. It's so light and airy and it's just perfect. And generally, I will not, when there's like little points to be pinned out, generally I won't do it. I'll just let it be however it wants to be. But I thought this one really needed the little added points to it. So generally I wear mine like this-ish. You know, you get the general idea. So generally this is how I would wear mine. And then I wear them at work all the time. But you can also wear them, especially these ones, just wrapped around, which honestly is really nice for like down here, because if I get chilly, I can just throw it over my shoulders. It's just so pretty. Look at the lace. So it's 3 colors of fingering weight yarn. I actually weighed my yarn this morning, and let's see, it was less than a skein of each color for this. So I used most of the gray. The gray used the most. Let's see, this fawn was about 60 grams, I think. The frayed denim was about 60, maybe like 58. And then I want to say this was like 70, right around 70, 72 grams for the gray. So you could easily get away with just, even if you have some scraps, just make sure you have, I would say probably 350 yards. As long as you can. I don't ever do gauge swatches when I make shawls, ever. So I don't know what my gauge is on this, but I'm not a tight or a loose knitter. I'm very standard knitter now. When I first started, I was a very tight knitter, which is a common problem. You're either very tight or very loose when you first start knitting. I was very tight knitter, very tight. So I had to go up a needle size or 3 a lot. But I'm super excited. So this one is done. I wish you guys could feel how drapey this yarn is. This yarn is from Amanda Hope. You can find her on, she does have a website, but I think it's Amanda Hope Yarn on Instagram. And then I believe that's the same name for her website too, but I love it. I love it. I love it. And I have some yarn left over, so I could always do something, you know, something else with it. So there, we'll just toss her back up there for now. So there is another mystery knit along starting Friday. I'm probably not going to be ready for that one. You need to basically use 4 solid yarns that have 0 colors in common. So you could use a light pink and a dark pink, but you can't use anything variegated. The majority of my stuff has a little bit of variegation in it, or I don't have 4 skeins that would work. A fingering weight yarn. So I'm going to dye my own. And I was going to do it this morning, but I got sidetracked because we got Animal Crossing yesterday. So I was trying to, because we can't all have our own island, my husband created the island last night, and then I realized we can't all have our own. So I wanted to make sure that I had the kids put their tents where they weren't, knocking all the trees down. So we got a little sidetracked with that this morning, but they had fun. So I was going to dye yarn this morning, and that didn't happen. I don't know. I may dye a couple extra skeins since I'm going to be up there just so that I have a few more options. But what I was thinking is I have some jacquard. I'm looking over at it because it's too far away for me to reach. I have some jacquard acid dyes that I gotten years ago, and I haven't opened them yet. There's a lilac, a fuchsia, and a turquoise. And I was thinking if I could get like a light turquoise and then like a good fuchsia, but not that's going to bleed. And then that lilac, I may change my mind and just try and make it darker. And then I also have a platinum. So I could have like a gray, a purple, a pink, and a teal color. So if I can get that done tomorrow, and if it's nice outside again, it'll be dry. And then I'll be able to wind it and hopefully start with everybody on Friday. If not, maybe I can start on Saturday. But it's a mystery, and the mystery knit along is from Casapinka. If you've watched Erin Two Martini Stitcher or Michelle Bendy Stitchy, they've talked about the Empower project. That I actually have purple yarn that I had dyed that I can use for it. I just haven't started it yet. It's basically like a little bandana cowl kind of. So it can be knit, it can be crocheted, you can sew one. Basically, however you want to craft it. They're free patterns, but Casapinka is one of the people behind it. So this mystery knit along is technically hers, but her cat, Sharon, this is Sharon from Security, it's her security guard cat, is the designer behind this. So apparently if you are one that is very particular in your craft, this is not for you. Hilarity has ensued just seeing the first two like little like pre-clue kind of. So we don't have any idea what this thing's gonna look like. We have no clue. All we know is the colors cannot have any colors in common, and a cat designed it. That's all we know. So it should be a lot of fun. You can find that pattern on Ravelry. Ravelry's having some accessibility issues right now for people who have issues with certain things visually causing migraines, headaches, possible seizures, stuff like that. Anyway, they've done a lot to try and improve it. It's not there yet. So check on Instagram, Casapinka. I believe they also started a Facebook group. Yes, they started a Facebook group for this knit along. So that way, if you cannot access Ravelry, then you can go to the Facebook group and access all the fun and games there. So it is called the Sharon Show Mystery Knit Along. But you can look Casapinka. It's Casapinka on Instagram. You can check it out on Facebook. I want to say the pattern is probably like $7. It's generally about how much it is. It could be $8, but it all kind of depends. Generally, the patterns, unless they're super intricate sweaters, are usually between like $5 and $8. So it's a lot of fun. I can't even. I wish you guys could see the second pre-clue. I wish I had my phone because I would just read it to you. It is hilarious. The whole thing is just a comedic adventure, which I think we kind of need right now, is something funny and hilarious and fun. So that's why I definitely wanted to start this one. As far as quilting, I did get half of my quilt top put together. So here is this is the top part. The final clue that released last Thursday was basically how to put it together. So here is, I know it's really hard to see, but here's the top-ish. And then this strip is actually the next thing that gets sewn on. This is the middle strip. So basically all we do is get a white square and put in between these two. So then this will get put on. And then I have to put the bottom half together and then put that on. So I don't know. I mean, this is, I need to wait until I get the top of it done. But as far as across, this is actually a really good lap size across. I mean, I could easily cover my lap and, you know. So I'll have to see how long it is because I may add a little bit of a border to it before I quilt it and bind it. We'll see. But that was the Jelly Snowflake Mystery Quilt Along from Fat Quarter Shop. That's a free pattern. You can find it on the Jolly Jabber blog. It's just jollyjabber.com. Let's see. They have their next Make-A-Wish quilt coming soon. Pretty excited about that. I don't know if I'm going to make the quilt because I'll probably stitch whatever the cross stitch is. Let's see. There was something else free that was put up there and I can't. Oh, it's a little Christmas tree, like wall hanging quilt that you can use either mini charms or a charm pack for. So go check out jollyjabber.com to check the blog for tons of free patterns from Fat Quarter Shop. You guys, I only had one thing come in the mail this week. Craft related. Oh my gosh, I just made a mess. So, I got my little mini charm pack. The mini charm pack club from Fat Quarter Shop for July. And these ones are, I think it's just 3 holiday prints. And then this one is called Branded. I just don't know why it won't focus. That's Branded. So this one is nice. It's got a lot of like very like muted neutrals. And then I got 3 holiday ones. So this is Naughty and Nice. This is from Basic Gray. Lots of reds and greens in that one. This one is Sweet Holly from, sorry, the little, when they pink the edges and then ship them, you get a lot of loose ones that go everywhere. So this is Sweet Holly by Kansas Troubles Quilters. I've never heard of them before. This one's very like dark, definitely like country Christmas. There's some like orangey, like rusty colors in there too. So I think this would make that Christmas tree. I could use this mini charm pack for it. And like a neutral background fabric. I could send it to my mom. And then Dear Christmas, because how adorable is this one? So I wonder if I go in and then come back out, if it'll. Maybe. There we go. So this is from Urban Chic. Teals, pinks. Oh, I just love it. If you look at the Jelly Snowflake quilt that Kimberly from Fat Quarter Shop did, that should be the one that's on the blog. She used pieces from this collection. So it's a lot of teals, pinks, reds, some mintier greens. Super pretty. Super pretty. Probably going to make project bag out of this. For me, of course. So that's it, you guys. That's it for haul. That's all I had. And now I have this, wish you could see, this gigantic mess of like tiny little fabric. There. I'm going to have to sweep down here now. So that is all I have for this week. I can't really tell you a whole lot about what the plans are. I mean, I do want to get that done. At least the top done. And then to figure out whether I'm going to do, there's a border that's called piano keys. And you use some of your leftover strips and some white strips. And you make like a long one and then 2 that are a little bit shorter. And then a little shorter, a little shorter, a little shorter. And then you go back up. So they kind of look like piano keys. I may do that on the top and bottom. I don't know if it's going to look right. If I would also have to do it on the sides. So I'll lay stuff out and see what I want to do. But today for sure, I'm going to do some full coverage. I feel like I've all of a sudden turned into a full coverage stitcher, and I'm really not just a full coverage stitcher. That just happens to be what I'm loving right now. So really, make what you love. Don't ever let people make you feel bad for doing what you want to do. see something I like and I do it. You know, it's like some people may not like that design. A couple of years ago, I wasn't a huge fan of a crescent shawl. Now, I totally wear it. Probably not over my shoulders, like, oh look, now I have fuzz on me too. Good thing I don't wear street clothes to work, or casual clothes. But I was more of a triangular, like asymmetrical triangle shawl kind of person. And now, absolutely I wear this because I can still wear it the same way I wear my other ones. Same with quilting. You know, people think, well, and all three of my main hobbies people think of as like old lady hobbies. And they're totally not. You guys know, you watch Flosstube. How many younger people do you see out there cross-stitching now? I had no idea what cross-stitching was when I was younger. I mean, you've got 20-somethings that are stitching now. I had no clue. I mean, I did, well, no. You know, honestly, when I started to knit, I was probably 31. I think I was 31. And then I started to quilt shortly after that. And it was more making like baby blanket type stuff. Very simple, not, this Jelly Snowflake was the first real pattern with, I don't know. To me, it seems like an intricate pattern, but it really wasn't now that I've done it. So, you know, do what you want. If you want to try something hard, go for it. Just take your time. You know, you want to learn to knit? Learn to knit. If you don't like full coverage, you don't have to stitch full coverage, you know? There's just, you know, it's like I'm not a sampler knitter. I love seeing people stitch samplers, but it's just not really for me. So don't ever feel bad about what you choose to do. I don't know. I don't mean to go on a rant, but I had somebody in person say to me, you know, well, why do you do that? Because I like to do it. Even sometimes my kids will say, Mom, are you stitching again? Yeah, I am. I'm stitching again. So, just, you know, and it's funny because Kimberly says it great. Just be you. Do you. Do not worry about what other people think. Please don't. I'm so excited that you guys came back to watch another video. I hope... See, look, this still ended up being a half an hour long. I hope you guys have an awesome week. I hope everyone who is in the path of the crazy rain from this hurricane is safe and can stay safe, and hopefully there's not a ton of flooding. And then for those of you that are in my area that have been enjoying this 70-degree weather, let's hope it just follows into next week too. Like through the weekend, and let's pretend like those 80s are not coming back, because I really like it outside right now. So that's all I've got for you guys. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. I swear I will write stuff down and have my phone with me next time. I don't even know where I put it. I'm going to have to go hunt it down. So have a great week. I will see you guys next week. Bye.